I'm really pleased to be with you here today. And this is we had a very short live last week, but went so. So I thought I'd come back to you today and would go full in. So I'm coming to you from the Biophilic Hub. And if you are here, you obviously found me through that. So what do we do here at the Biophilic Hub? Just a quick little presentation to tell you. We are here all together as a community and as a bunch of people who are interested in doing this because we want to create our lives and our work to be more biophilic and more nature-centered. So we are particularly interested in the built environment. So people who are dealing with interior design or with construction or with architecture, but our buildings. And also people who manufacture for our buildings and for the built environment. Why am I particularly interested in this sector? Because you guys have enormous responsibility, and you guys, but I put myself in it as well, because we count for almost 40% of carbon emissions. So we have a responsibility, and we are so stressed out. We are so stressed out that we really have got to come back and reconnect with the earth, with nature. It's the only way we are going to find a sustainable way of living for ourselves and for our clients. And I'm sure you want to do that too. So when we speak about biophilic design, one of the elements of biophilic design are the materials. And the people who know me directly through other projects I have worked on know that I come from a procurement background, and I have been sourcing materials, furniture, textiles, all sorts of things for years and years and years. And I am really passionate about doing this sustainably, even before it even became a thing. Okay. So now, today, I want to bring to you, as I do every Monday, I want to have a conversation with you guys about things which are materials which are sustainable, or sometimes I have found something interesting, or maybe there is a topic. So if there is something which you want to particularly talk about, please just drop me a line, drop a name in the chat here, or just send an email if you want to do it in another day. So in the meantime, today I thought I'd start a conversation, because there's a lot to talk about. Start a conversation around bamboo. Okay, so bamboo has become more and more used, should I say, in the construction industry, but also in the home interiors side of things, with the Japandi movement and that kind of style. But why has it become sustained? Why has it become more and more used? Because it is a rather sustainable material. So I just want to walk through a couple of these characteristics which I found, which I wanted to tell you about. Firstly, its strength. So we know bamboo is really, really strong. If you live in Asia, or if you have ever traveled to Asia, I remember one of the first things that struck me when I was visiting that part of the world many, many years ago for the first time. I was shocked to see people who were actually, all the scaffolding was made of bamboo, and the people were and these men were just sort of standing on top of bamboo sticks, and I was looking at it in awe, saying, "Oh my goodness, how is this possible?" And after I found out that the properties of bamboo are such that it is constructed in sort of an axis, the axis of the fibers, how they are intricated, makes it an incredibly strong material, even stronger than steel. And It is also considered quite a load-bearing material. These poles, especially the poles which are full, because there are different types of bamboo, but the solid bamboo sticks, okay, I call them sticks, but in fact they're poles, are really, really strong, and they are load-bearing. I want to underline this because we spoke about hempline a few weeks ago before Christmas. And one of the characteristics of has a lot of things, a lot of positive things, but what it is not is load bearing. So when we build uh, houses in hemp or even sometimes in wood, we've got to be careful to make sure we're doing that. In the wood, you've got to use the glue lamp because you can't use the other one. But in hemp, definitely you've got to use steel. So on the other hand, bamboo is load bearing, so we could in fact use bamboo. This is something which we have to take into consideration. But why? I've got steel, but what are the other things which I should take into consideration? Clearly, I'm going to go straight to the point. I am obsessed with sustainability, and so we know that bamboo grows at a very fast rate, faster than wood, in fact, because it can grow in about 3 or 5 years. And as I said, these are poles. We are not speaking about hemp, which is grass. Okay. So these are poles, and in 3 to 5 years it can grow, whilst obviously a tree will take much longer to grow. And as it is a natural material, it produces oxygen while it grows. So it becomes, in fact, carbon negative, doesn't it? If I produce oxygen instead of producing carbon dioxide, which I would have to produce, which I would emit when I'm producing steel. On the other hand, growing bamboo produces oxygen, so it becomes carbon negative to that point. It is particularly light also, so we can transport it quite easily. And so we are speaking about something which is particularly strong. We are speaking about something which is carbon negative, so it produces oxygen and it grows fast or relatively fast. And another thing which I find very interesting is that, in fact, it's elasticity. Okay. And why is this important? And it is particularly important. That, I think, is also why we see it often, apart from because that's where it grows a lot. But it is often used in constructions in Thailand and some of the Asian countries, is because it is flexible. And this flexibility, okay, allows it also to deal with things like earthquakes or, storms, tropical storms. So it's not going to snap immediately. So there is going to be a certain amount of elasticity to it. And this is important because we've got to take into account where we are with the climate change, and where it grows and where it is used. So this is important in terms of its resistance to earthquakes and tropical storms. Resistance, a certain amount of resistance. And then another thing I'm really, really happy to share with you is that it is naturally fire resistant. So on top of that, we don't have to add, or relatively, chemical fire retardants, which we know are particularly toxic. Why is it particularly fire resistant? Because of the amount of water which is within it. So this water is going to make it not slightly fire resistant. It can get up to about 400 degrees Celsius, something like that. Of course, it will burn sooner or later, but the fact that it is got so much water in it, does make it fire resistant. So we've got natural fire resistance. That means we reduce the amount of toxins and chemicals which we have to add to it in order to make it fire resistant. We know that it is strong because of the way it is formed, the way it is grown, because of its fibers, its axes. And it is a load-bearing material. So this is really important because hemp, for example, as we said, is not a load-bearing material. We know that it is light, so it is easier to transport. We know that it is safe or relatively safe in that we are not dealing with hazardous building materials that can be something like asbestos or other kinds of materials to that extent. So I find that really, really, really interesting. So just speaking about these 4-5 properties of bamboo have already kind of opened my mind to want to look into it a bit more. And for sure we will. I mean, if we look in Thailand, how many buildings have been made in bamboo? So I know there's the Panyaden, I wrote it down, the Panyaden school in Thailand. Oh, wow. If you have seen these photos, guys, it is amazing. Amazing. They have a complete school, including a complete basketball pitch, all in bamboo. So these are not just decorative materials, okay? These are construction materials. Then, of course, we can speak about decorative use as well, because bamboo is also very decorative. It can be broken down to very slim pieces of thread. And Japandi is, in fact, it's a style. And it's based not only on bamboo, but also on bamboo. And I think we are going to definitely go into that a bit longer next time round on the use of bamboo for the interiors. But today I wanted to stop and just think about its properties, okay? Why are we using bamboo more? Or why should we be using bamboo more in construction, okay? We use it in fencing, we can use it for windows, we can use it for doors, we can use it as a structural material because there are different types of bamboo. As I said, the ones which are solid, or there's another one which is called the Trigai bamboo type. These are used for construction. So these are really solid. And they are, as I said, weight bearing. So this is it for today. Today I just wanted to highlight these 3 or 4 properties of bamboo so you can go and have a look at it and see. I will definitely prepare a bit more and maybe show you some photos maybe next week if we do a live. If not, if you do come onto our community, it's a free community called the Biophilic Hub. Please do join up. We do post a lot of things, and we are going to come up with some super offers if you want to also go onto the premium part. And there you will have all sorts of workbooks, loads of interviews, and that's where we put all our stuff. But if you don't feel like going onto the premium, that's not an issue. There's a free version as well. And in this free version, we post weekly with very interesting articles, which we are dealing with at the moment. We will be we just posted a fantastic article about the trend of dealing with entrances. So we spoke about entrances in the biophilic, on a biophilic point of view, and you will see it there. So bamboo, coming back to bamboo before I go on to something else. The main properties of bamboo, to recap today, we said is tensile strength. So it's incredible strength, which can be used as a weight-bearing structure. So this is one due to its the polon of its axially. Okay. Then we have its weight, so it is light and easy to transport. Its elasticity, which is super important, super important, because this makes it, there's a reason why it is used so often in Asia, as I said, because it can flex where they have tropical storms, where there is a risk of earthquake. So this is really taken into account. It can sustain a certain amount of stress. Of course, not completely, but there is a certain amount which it can. It's fire resistant, or it has a natural fire resistance, and it can get up to something like 300 Celsius. This is important. Both this, the fire resistance, and its flexibility is due to the amount of water which is contained within it. And then, of course, sustainable. It's natural. It grows fast. Okay. So this is also very important. And why is sustainable? Because it produces oxygen. It doesn't produce carbon dioxide. If we are using steel, we know the amount of carbon dioxide which goes into the air to produce the steel. And then it is safety. So we're not speaking about a hazardous material for the built environment. And it is durable. It is durable, but it does have to be treated, okay, for insects. And this can be treated in a natural way with pressure. So this is why it is used for the building area, building market or industry. It can be used for structure, for doors, for windows, for scaffolding. Sometimes it is used as a skin. Okay, we'll speak about that maybe next time. As a skin, that is a single skin or a double skin, but it's got to be intricate, so there may be some light coming through. And that's it. These are the things which we've got to think about. There is, of course, an enormous chapter on how it can be used as a decorative material and for interiors, following also the Japandi, but not only, style. So, thanks everyone today for coming here with me, and I hope you enjoyed this. And if you want to know more, head over to the Biophilic Hub. It's written just here, thebiophilichub.com. I don't have a link. I haven't put a link on this live. I'm not even quite sure how to do it, to tell you the truth. So I'll just leave you to get on with it. Yes, here it is. Maybe I have a chat here if you want to go. No, it's not. Here's the chat. If you want to go over to the biophilichub.com and you can choose. You can choose your free version or you can choose your paid version. Okay? See you next week. Have a great week. And we will continue next week talking about bamboo and the use of bamboo in interior design. Bye for now.